Earlier today, I published a post on how I generate cash flow paid into my Fidelity and Schwab taxable accounts. I'm going to discuss now an important criteria to use for selecting stocks that most individual investors do not use. It is called free cash flow yield. One ETF that I own selects the 100 highest free cash flow yielding stocks that are in the S&P 600. It is called the Pacer US Small Cap Cash Cows 100 ETF that trades under the symbol CAF. It is also rated 5 stars by Morningstar. I'm going to compare CAF's 1, 3, and 5-year total returns which includes dividend reinvestments with an ETF that simply tracks the S&P 600 that trades under the symbol SPSM. My data comes from Morningstar and includes the periods through January 5th, 2024. The 1-year total return for CAF is 33.14% compared to 11.56% for SPSM. The average annual total return for CAF is 15.51% compared to 5.54% for SPSM. That is a substantial difference that will amount to a fair amount of money over time. The 5-year total average total return for CAF is 15.93%, more than double the SPSM at 7.67%. So historically, just adding free cash flow yield to a stock selection process significantly added to total returns compared to a plain vanilla S&P 600 ETF. Free cash flow is the amount of cash that is available for distribution. This cash may be used for a variety of purposes, including paying interest on debt, paying dividends to equity owners, reducing the amount of debt, and expanding the business operation. It is not a number that can be manipulated, and non-GAAP adjustments to earnings that are routinely now accepted when valuing a company using a PE ratio valuation standard alone. And those adjustments are accepted even when the expenses being excluded are cash expenses and are recurring. I'm not going to get into a long explanation of what free cash flow yield is. It's explained in more detail at the Pacer CAF website. But just to highlight how this process can work, the CAF ETF starts with the S&P 600, which as of September 30th, 2023, had a free cash flow yield of 4.26% and a PE ratio of 13.37. When you select the 100 highest yielding free cash flow yield stocks, their free cash flow yield increases to 14.32%, and the PE ratio goes down to 8.51. So it is one among many valuation criteria that needs to be used, in my opinion, by individual investors before they make individual stock selections.